Cool. So that's verse 2. So we get the full guitars and drums on this verse. All right, I'm going to trigger all the Evanescence fans here. This sounds just a little familiar. I don't know if any of y'all noticed. This is very familiar sounding. I'm going to play it real quick. So that guitar and drums. Let's play something else real quick. Hold on, let me get it.
Now I will tell you what I've done for you.
Huh.
I see the ocean.
Yeah. So anyway, let me be clear. All right. I'm not trying to troll. I understand. Like, I don't have any personal stake in whatever happened with Ben Moody and Amy Lee. I'm not one of these people who thinks like Ben Moody was Evanescence. I don't think that. But I do think that it is interesting that the title track on the new album has essentially the same guitar riff as the intro track from the first album. You know, I'm not implying anything, I swear to God, but I do think it's an interesting coincidence. And what it actually makes me think is like, you know, come on guys, y'all couldn't have come up with a better guitar riff, or y'all couldn't have like, because surely the guitarists have played this song Going Under like 1,000 times. They should know. They should know like, hey, we've done this riff, this exact riff. And actually, I did look up the BPMs for the two songs, and Going Under is at 175 BPM, and this song is at 176 BPM. So that, I mean, they're essentially the same speed. I don't think they're the same tuning, but it's just essentially the same guitar riff. It's just an interesting thing to point out. You could say, well, that's Evanescence's sound. Sure, it's fine. I'm not implying anything about Ben Moody or whatever, but I do think it's worth noting. And it stuck out to me because I did do a breakdown of Going Under. So I got that guitar riff like stuck in my head for a week. And when I heard it here, I was like, wait a second, like, I've heard that before. Anyway, again, I'm just kind of joking here. All right. I'm not trying to imply anything about this or Ben Moody or whatever. Though I do know that she talks about Ben Moody on one of the songs on the second ballad on this album. What's it called again? Forever Without You. That's right. Yeah. Kind of an interesting take. I will say, I have seen people talk about how Ben was like, I've seen some people comment, you know, Ben is Evanescence or whatever. He was the real Evanescence. Like, that's just like not true. Evanescence is Amy Lee. It always has been. But it does seem like, despite, you know, how controversial that split might have been, the two of them actually seem to have like worked it out respectfully for the most part. Maybe I might be missing something. If any fans want to comment on it, I would love to hear it. But, you know, I think Ben, for the most part, was pretty respectful about leaving. He didn't ever talk shit about her or anything. He said he's happy that they're making albums and being successful. And I didn't get, you know, when I listened to that song that Amy made on this album, I didn't get the sense that it was malicious necessarily. In fact, it seemed more of like reconciliatory, I guess, like just sort of getting it out in the open and just kind of like, okay, this is what happened. I'm going to finally address this after 20 years so that we can put it to bed. Because the truth is like Evanescence has been wildly successful without Ben Moody in it. So you can't sit here and say, oh, it's all Ben. Like, no, that's not true. There's plenty of female fronted bands and girl bands that had guys in it or whatever that have failed over the years. So you can't even say like, oh, you know, she as the girl was only good because she had the guy helping her. Like, that's just not true. So I didn't get a malicious sense from the song that she wrote. I got more of like, hey, let's just get this out in the open. That way we can kind of move on from it or whatever, you know, that's what songs do. That's what the point of a song is just kind of like, this is what happened or this is my feelings on the subject. And so anyway, whatever. All of this is to say, I just noticed that the riff sounded the same. I'm spending way too much time on this. We got to keep it moving. So let's talk about these verse 2 lyrics real quick. She